The impact of time when you invest. It is amazing what time can do when you invest, especially when your initial stock market experience is poor. Allow me to show you with two fake people. Carmen and Claire both received $1 million in the year 2002. I'm not sure why. Carmen invested his money on his birthday, May 20th, 2002. Claire invested her money on her birthday, July 15th, 2002. They are both invested in the Russell 3000 index. You cannot invest directly in an index. Don't you ever forget it. The returns I will show are annualized, not total. By the end of 2002, that same year, Carmen has a negative 19.94% return. That leaves him with $800,600. Claire has a negative 3.61%, leaving her with $963,900. Carmen is wounded. Claire feels okay after talking to Carmen. They're acquaintances, by the way. They recently met. The end of 2003, Carmen feels better than last year, but still, he distances himself from Claire and her success. The end of 2004, Carmen is coming around to the market as time passes. He decides to reconnect with Claire. The end of 2006, 2 more years gone by. Carmen and Claire's returns grow closer to one another, as does their friendship. The Great Recession of 2008 wipes away all the progress Carmen made and most of the progress Claire had made. But Carmen and Claire find strength to carry on together. The end of 2010, their returns have never been closer, or their relationship. They are finally dating. The end of 2012, at the end of a little over a decade, a rough decade in the market albeit, they both feel so-so about the market, especially Carmen. But just wait for what is in store the next 11 years, both in the market and with their newfound relationship. I can't wait. The end of 2014, I would be very grateful with either of these annualized returns over an almost 13-year period of time. And guess what? Carmen and Claire? Yeah. They're talking about marriage, sealing the deal. The end of 2016, this is where the story really heats up. Their returns are only 1.47% apart at this point, after the wide chasm of 16.33% that they began with. Carmen is feeling just as confident in investing as Claire always has. It's going to his head. Claire misses humble and kind Carmen. It causes division and pain. They both go their separate ways. My heart. Will they end up together? No one knows. The end of 2018, Carmen and Claire happen upon each other at the airport. Carmen was going on a trip with some friends, trying to find happiness. Claire was going to visit some family. Serendipitous? Some think so. The end of 2020, after their fated encounter in the airport, Carmen continued to seek happiness in all the wrong places. Claire always remaining in the back of his mind. Carmen began to wonder, am I really that great at investing? Or has it simply been the passage of time that has brought our returns so close together, and my pride that has pushed us so far apart? And the end of 2023. It has been nearly 22 years since Carmen and Claire first met each other and invested their money. Carmen can't get Claire out of his mind, and he's decided to do something about it. He looks her up and goes directly to her condo. He knocks on the door, nervously shifting back and forth. The door swings open. A familiar voice surprisingly asks, "Carmen, what are you doing here?" Carmen responds, now confident in his aim. "Hi, Claire. I have 2 questions for you." "Okay," Claire says, still taken back. "First, what is your annualized return in your investment account as of December 31st, 2023? 10.16%, Claire replies. "Fascinating. Mine is 9.15%, Carmen almost shouts from excitement. "Carmen, why are you really here?" Claire questions, dampening some of Carmen's excitement. "Claire, I've come to realize that time can make a massive difference in your investment experience, both in the short term and in the long term. I timed things poorly initially when I invested my $1 million. You timed things much better. The gap between our returns was large in those early years, and it hurt. But as time passed, our annualized returns grew closer. I thought it was my expertise, but really, it was simply my discipline to stay the course, and more importantly, the passage of time. I know this now. I'd like to ask you my second question." Now Claire shifts nervously as she wonders, what could it be? "Claire, will you marry me and combine your investment account with mine so I don't have to compare with you anymore?" Epilogue. Claire did say yes to marriage. Carmen and Claire will be married in 2024. What a love story. Let's move on. At the end of this nearly 22-year span, Carmen has $7,151,941. Claire has $8,730,071. I'd now like to share some of my observations. I hope you've had some of your own after this roller coaster of investment returns, emotions, and love. First, be patient. Carmen stayed the course despite some really poor performance initially and after losing all his gains during the 2008 recession. This patience and discipline led to his $1 million turning into over $7 million. Don't compare. There's a lot that goes into someone's investment experience. Time and timing can be a large contributing factor, as demonstrated in this magnificent fake love story. Remember, the only difference between Carmen and Claire was about 57 days between when they both invested. This example is extreme, as was the account balance difference between Carmen and Claire despite such a minor difference between them. I intended it to be that way. Most people don't receive $1 million when they are young and invest it all right away, nor can they invest directly in an index with no cost. Most invest slowly over time on a monthly or yearly basis. This can blunt the impact of poor timing like Carmen initially. So don't be afraid to dive in. Keep investing. I'm aware of some who pulled a Carmen and timed their initial investment in the stock market poorly. I'm aware of others who timed their initial few years in the stock market poorly, growing sour towards it. If you have time, a market correction is an opportunity. Keep investing. Don't wait to invest. I know some of you are thinking you want to be just like Claire. The chances are slim. She's fake. She was magically granted $1 million and she timed the total sum of her money getting invested almost perfectly. And that's all, folks. Until next time. The Great Recession of 2008 wipes away all the progress Carmen made and most of the progress could declare. That's not English.